Update GF 28F wants an open relationship. I, 29 meters, want to break up. So, I had a long heart-to-heart with her. I started with asking if it was a deal breaker for her. She said absolutely not. Then I asked why was she debating it, and she said that she was only trying to win the argument in the moment. She never thought I would actually utter the words break up. That's why she cried. Because in her mind we were just having a spirited discussion like we have all the time on topics like coal versus renewable energy, electric cars versus hydrogen cars, vegans versus non-vegans, atheism versus religion versus spiritualism, Tony Stark versus Bruce Wayne, and so on and so forth. It's true. We have a lot of these discussions. It's one of our favorite pastime. And she said when you suddenly brought up breakup, I was like WTF. Where did this come from? She also agreed that her crying was a bit immature and childish, but she was hurt that I even thought about breaking up. But it was definitely not manipulative. And she said I should expect her to cry in future arguments too. Then we discussed about the open relationship topic, and she said for her emotional intimacy is of more importance than physical intimacy. She also said that her deal breaker would be if I have an emotional affair that she can't get past. I asked if she wants to have sex with someone else than me, and she said only if you agree. I said well, in that case I will feel guilty that I am stopping you from enjoying your life. And she asked well, should she also feel guilty that we only go to restaurants which have a good vegan venue because she is vegan and I am not? Am I stopping you from living your life, or do you do it because you are an adult who makes his own decisions and you love me? So please trust me when I say that I will be perfectly happy having sex with just you as long as you don't neglect my needs. Which you don't. In fact, I am having the time of my life right now, both physically and emotionally. So if you want to break up, then go ahead. I would you rather not. But I am having all my needs met by you, and I plan on being in a relationship with you. I asked what if we get married and stay together for the next 50 years? Will you be okay with that? She said, well, if we get married and our marriage breaks down for any reason, I can assure you that it won't be because of infidelity. But we should also be secure enough that I tell you, see that guy, girl. I would like to fuck him, her, and you tell me yeah, not happening. I pout, then we move on, secure in the knowledge that we trust each other enough to not hurt our marriage. Can you trust me now that you know I am capable of having these feelings? If you say yes, then I will trust you, so likewise I hope you trust me when I say I am perfectly happy not having sex with people outside of our relationship. It was an emotionally charged conversation, and she was hurt by my actions yesterday, but also understood why I had such a strong reaction. So now we are putting it in the same bin where we keep our other arguments. Close the lid and move on till we find our next topic. And yes, I love her very much. Enough to marry her, and I know she loves or rather adores me. Thank you for everyone who commented and gave advice. We really appreciate this. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I am going to cook something nice for her now, so I will answer you when I have time. Have a nice day, everyone. You guys banter a lot, which is nice. But when she brought it up to you, it wasn't, what do you think of open relationship? Open versus not open? Quote. Instead, it was her taking you aside and asking, what do you think if we had a threesome with that person? These are two different things. I think she's downplaying this a lot. Also, her using other examples of a restaurant to compare to the dynamic of your relationship is not the same. Yes, you chose to go to a vegan restaurant because you see nothing wrong with eating at that place. With her offering another person into this relationship is a huge shift. It's not just eating her piece and then she's done. These decisions hold major consequences, unlike picking a place to eat. In what way? As, I want to have sex with him, her. Then pout and move on, secure? Honestly, I see it as insensitive and immature. Why even voice it out? That comment alone doesn't even feel nice to hear from any partner. And pouting? Why must she pout? Does she think, what a shame I can't FCK that person? That's terrible to know if I was to do anything with my partner. Please trust me when I say that I will be perfectly happy having sex with just you as long as you don't neglect my needs. Which you don't. But what happens if you become busy with life? You won't have as much time to be with her, then what? You neglected her, so she's jumping ship now? And this will be her excuse because you aren't doing what you're supposed to do. This is completely nonsensical. Every argument she said has holes. Since you both have talked it out and have come to a decision, then good for both of you. But do think about what I said. All the best. Why would she be asking to fuck people? Then pouting. If you've now said it's off the table? She's telling you that she's going to continue bringing this up in hopes that one day you give in. This isn't a discussion or debate. She was demanding something, and frankly I think she's hoping to work on you into reconsidering once you are less willing to break up. That line about asking and then pouting, i.e. getting upset, is what convinced me. She sounds manipulative. Dude, you can't compare your restaurant choice with your relationship. I definitely wouldn't want to hear that my partner would like to feek someone else, and when I say no, I definitely wouldn't like them to pout. Looks like that's going to be a disaster. So you gave her a hard, very reasonable boundary, which is a deal breaker for you. And she said she plans on continuing to push that boundary and pout when she doesn't get her way. She also said her fidelity is conditional on you meeting her needs. Dud. I know you are all about sweeping this under the rug. But it is going to bite you in the rear so hard if you stay with her. The day is going to come where you're recovering from an injury or illness, or have to go on a business trip, or dealing with grief from the loss of a loved one. And she's going to decide your agreement about you fulfilling her needs is broken and go seek it somewhere else. Yeah, this is not the end of it. I am going to continue to tell you I want to fuck other people, then pout when you say no, is staggeringly disrespectful considering you've just nearly broken up over this very thing. Sounds like she's very good at winning an argument by throwing in endless theoreticals. Just you as long as you don't neglect my needs. Which you don't. So if you get married and are in a serious accident that takes you out of commission for 6 months? Or you get hit a multi-year health problem? Or maybe you just get old before her? If emotional intimacy is so fulfilling, then why is she thinking about someone else's dick inside her and how great that might be? But we should also be secure enough that I tell you, see that guy, girl. I would like to fuck him, her. Yeah. No. Some people are okay with that shit. Some people aren't. They don't even want to think about that. WTF? You should have shut that down right away. It's okay to find other people attractive. But not this in my book. At least keep it to yourself. But it was definitely not manipulative. She says, while manipulating you on multiple occasions during this talk. Fake excuses. False comparisons. Blaming you for even considering breaking up. Which is a normal reaction if your partner is monogamous. Overturning your needs and comfort for rational debate. That's a lie. Prompting you to prepare yourself for her long-term manipulating you in the future, even etc. Have a fun time with your cheater girlfriend. Because this is where it's heading. If she isn't already doing that. Anyways. something tells me this isn't the end of this. I don't buy at least half of what she's saying. She's just scared to be alone and said what she could to continue in this relationship. Until something better pops up. Of course. The update reads like you feel good about where this landed, but from the outside it still feels off. This argument didn't stem from a debate, it stemmed from a request your GF has now laid out that she intends to make that request repeatedly in the future. But we should also be secure enough that I tell you, see that guy, girl. I would like to fuck him, her, and you tell me yeah, not happening. I pout, then we move on, secure in the knowledge that we trust each other enough to not hurt our marriage. This whole thing is weird. It feels like a boundary push that you correctly flexed back on. But as soon as you started to relax, the boundary push came again, only softer and more subtle. I suspect it's because your GF's values on this are way off from your own, so she doesn't really understand how you feel about it. I also suspect this is now gonna be an ongoing issue until your GF actually understands. I ask if she wants to have sex with someone else than me, and she said only if you agree. That's a yes then. But we should also be secure enough that I tell you, see that guy, girl. I would like to fuck him, her, and you tell me yeah, not happening. I pout, then we move on. Secure in the knowledge that we trust each other enough to not hurt our marriage. Sorry, but does she not understand that her saying those words would be hurting your marriage? You can close the lid on this and pretend it doesn't exist, but at some point the pressure in that lid will make it pop off. She sounds like a head fuck to me. You should put her in the bin. She will eventually cheat on you, buddy. Get out before kids and mortgage and everything else makes it too complicated. I'm a bit more open to the concept of being physical with a third than my partner. But I could never stand falling for anyone else. Nor see my partner fall. It would be purely physical. But I would never ever do anything that would hurt him. And so we have it just as hypothetical dirty talk. Never any plan to go through. I'm queer. And I'll sometimes comment on other women like, wow, she's hot. I'd let her top me. Would you have sex with her? To my boyfriend. It was only recently during a conversation that he realized I only ever do that with women. Because I know the prospect of me mentioning attractive men would make him uncomfortable. There's a quote he has from an old colleague, and translated to English it's something along the lines of, look at the menu. Eat at home. Or, get hungry out. Eat in. It's an understanding that, whilst we can find other people physically attractive occasionally, we're each other's priority. Plus, I don't think I could ever trust anyone as deeply as I trust and love him. To hurt him would be like carving out my heart with a rusty knife. As a monogamous person, I do not want to watch my partner pout because I won't let them have sex with someone else. In what way is that shit healthy or mature? Your girlfriend's way of thinking is flawed. I do think, at least for now, that she wants to be with you. But I think it's because she knows you are stable and pander to her wants. She also knows you love her but have strong boundaries for yourself. She's attached and doesn't want to give that secure relationship up. But her mind is wandering. And her analogy of the food sacrifice versus her desire sacrifice is flawed. I feel like she's only being partially honest with you. And that this isn't going away like you think it is. Do not marry this woman. Do not have children with her. She will cheat on you. She will do it behind your back and manipulate you into thinking you're crazy for suspecting it. Then she will convert you into a long-term investment with alimony or child support payments and move on. I was in the same place you are 15 years ago and I made this mistake. This woman is incredibly similar in behavior to my ex. She's playing you for a fool. Good luck with that. Hey-op, she is a walking red flag to me. Your first instinct was right. Break up with her. I'd wager good money you'll hear 3 months after that either she was cheating on you and you didn't know, or she goes buck wild and starts sleeping with lots of people after you break up. You're a safety net. Lose her. I pout, less than, she has an emotional maturity issue.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.